This is a Copilot Studio agent that reads your actual financials and files its work to SharePoint. No code. By the end of this video, you'll have built one yourself in 5 steps. If you've been trying to build a Copilot Studio agent for finance and it keeps answering with generic fluff instead of your real numbers, well, this is the clean way to do it. I'm Mike, a senior finance leader, and I've spent the last decade automating finance work. I've built a lot of these, so I'll show you the 5 steps that matter and skip the parts that waste your time. Let's go ahead and build one. Step 1, we're going to create the agent and we're going to describe it in plain English. We don't need to define every single little thing and fill out all the forms. We're just going to describe the job in a chat box like we're briefing a new hire on their first day. This is Copilot Studio. Now, to get Copilot Studio, you need to have a paid Copilot plan, not the free one, and then you need to have Copilot Studio turned on. At this time, it's not an additional license cost, but as you start to scale these, there could be some background costs for the Azure operating environment or other things. But to do your own in your own personal development environment, you'll see I'm in mine right up here. There is no cost. You just need the license physically turned on. To orient you to what you're seeing, we're going to use this right here. This is going to let us describe what the agent's going to do without having to fill out every single form in detail. It's going to do the initial customization for us. You'll also have workflows. If you've ever worked with Power Automate or Zapier or Make or N8N, this is going to do the same thing, but it's going to do it in a really streamlined Microsoft fashion, and it's going to do workflows with AI agents built right in. Now you can also come over here to agents. From here, you can hit create blank agent, or you can import an agent that somebody has sent to you. That's going to get you to exactly the same place. And then if you want to do those flows, you can similarly come down to flows right here and add them in. So either from home or from agents and flows. But now we're going to start this by describing what we want our agent to do. If you want to be really technical and fill out all the forms, you can skip this, go to create your agent and start going right at all the forms. But let's do this the easy way by describing it. Now I've got a prompt over here. I'm going to copy in, go ahead and paste that. All right, build an agent that acts as an FP&A analyst for a coffee shop business with 3 locations. Needs to answer questions about monthly revenue costs, budget to actuals, based on financial files I give it. Always checks the manager commentary against the numbers. Keep answers short, lead with the number, then explain why it moved. So we'll send that off, and now it's going to do all of its magic in the back end. It's going to populate the defaults based on the information we've given it. We'll still have the full ability to customize it, but we get a massive head start. So we'll see here, it's put our name in, coffee shop analyst. It's put a description in. It picked the default model. Let's go ahead and pop that up to Opus. And then it popped in our initial instructions based on what we told it. Did a really nice job filling it out. Now, still a few things we'll have to do. You'll see it just did the instructions and the description so far, but a massive head start for us. So that's the agent. But right now it knows nothing about your business. Let's fix that. This is the step that separates a real finance agent from a toy. Open the knowledge section and add your files, your P&L, your management commentary, whatever you'd hand a new analyst. Upload them or point them at a SharePoint folder. Let me add mine and ask it something only my files would know. Now let's go ahead and give it some knowledge, because right now it's got instructions, but it doesn't really know anything about the business. You'll see this is organized. You can either go across the top and go down to each section, or we can scroll. So we've got the details here, model selection, instructions, the knowledge, which is what we're going to come back to in a moment to add this. I'm going to turn off web search. I want this to stay internal to our data. We can add all kinds of different tools from Microsoft, including their Work IQ that looks across the tools. Got different triggers. We can connect other agents, so this can actually be an agent orchestrator. We can pull multiple agents in. We've got topics, and then we've got some suggested prompts to make it more user-friendly to our users. And then a few other things across the top. We can look at all the activity, we can run tests, we can monitor it, and we can add it to different channels for our users to access. But for now, let's come back to knowledge. We're going to go ahead and add knowledge. Now we can connect it to all kinds of different sources. For this, we're going to be really simple and just upload a file. I've got a bunch of financials from my coffee shop. We're going to take in the profit and loss statement. We're going to take in the bank data, and we're going to take in our location manager comments. Now let me go ahead and drag those over. They're going to attach just like this. Again, you can pull in from Dataverse, you can pull in from Snowflake. There's all kinds of different things you can do. To keep the demo simple, we're just going to work off of Excel. So we've got those 3 files in there. We'll go ahead and add them to the agent. They're going to upload the files and they're going to process into the knowledge store. All right, you'll see our knowledge is loading. In progress means that it's being brought into Dataverse on the back end. So all of this data can process. That's going to happen automatically. You don't have to do anything. We just have to wait for all that data to be available. Well, knowledge is loaded in and it's time for our first question. We can test it over here, just like it'll eventually appear in the Copilot web app or in Teams or Slack, wherever we share it. We can put it wherever our users are working, but we can test it here just like that. So let's go ahead and do a sample question. I want to know Lower Manhattan's revenue dropped hard in the fall of 2025. What happened and does the manager commentary explain it? So we'll go ahead and send this test off. Now what's really cool in test mode is we can actually watch the agent work over here. We can evaluate the decisions it's making and really understand the performance so that it's easier to tweak it. So you'll see right now it is searching through sources. It went through the coffee shop P&L. It'll also search through bank data and commentary. And here is our information. So August to October collapsed versus July alone. It was about the same revenue. Yes, it explains it. There was an MTA station renovation. Notice it's referencing the citations. So we can click on that. It's going to tell us exactly where it got the information from. A nice example. We got August, September, October, November, what was happening. Commentary was consistent with the numbers. Fall was driven by external construction. And do we want to pull additional information? See how it answered from my numbers, not from the internet or its knowledge? That's grounding, and it's the whole game. Now, real quick, if you want the exact prompts and instructions I use in these builds, the link to my full AI library is in the description. Plus, I'll send you my free weekly newsletter, Finance AI Insider, with more stuff just like this. Now, back to the build. Now, for step 3, the data isn't enough on its own. Now we teach it how to think. In the instructions box, tell it how a finance analyst answers. Lead with the number, then explain the driver, and check the commentary against the numbers. Be specific. This is where a generic bot becomes a real analyst. Now here's the instruction I use. Watch the difference in how it answers. So we have our draft instructions in here that Microsoft built based on our initial prompt, but let's go and tweak this so we can get a little bit of a clearer answer from it like our leadership would like to see. So we'll go back to overview. Again, everything is infinitely customizable in here. So we've got our purpose there. Let me add in an additional section of general guidelines. And I want to tell it this. Okay, when I ask about a variance, always do 2 things. State the dollar change and the percent change first, then check the locations manager's commentary and tell me whether the story matches. If they do not line up, say so plainly and point to the gap. So that's what we're looking for. We want it to start off exactly like this. We'll go ahead and put in test question 2 and see if everything aligns to what we're looking for. All right, Hell's Kitchen ran a big marketing push. Did that spend actually move revenue? We'll go ahead and send that away. And now this is going to run against the new information and the new instructions that we've put in. All right, you can see it running through all the different sources, all the information it's pulling. It's so cool to be able to watch this run. All right, it's doing different queries. Now it's grabbing the information. Perfect. So it's doing exactly what we asked it to do. Here's the actuals, here's the surrounding baseline, here's the variance impact, and then it has a clear section on the commentary check and whether it's aligned. So by adding just those couple of lines to the instructions, we immediately change the performance and the output of the tool. And that's the way you want to use the instructions. Now it answers like someone who knows the job, but it still can't do anything. Let's give it hands. An answer is nice, but a file document is better. We're going to go to Actions and Tools to add the SharePoint Create File tool. This is going to allow us to wire a simple action like build the variance pack. So it's going to produce it and save it where our team already works. Let me wire one and go ahead and run it. So that's great. Now we can work in the tool, but we want more than just a chatbot answer back and forth. We want this to actually be able to build some documents for us and even better, put them on SharePoint or wherever we store our files. So we're going to be able to set up an action and a tool so that it can do that for us. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to add a tool. Within add a tool, we can search for a scenario. So what I'm going to say is I want to look up SharePoint and we'll see what's available with SharePoint. So what we want to do here is we want to be able to save files to SharePoint. So we'll just say save files to SharePoint, and it's going to look for the closest matching tool, if any. All right, here's what we've got. SharePoint, create a file. So yes, we can just add create file here. So now we've got that tool enabled. It's going to be able to upload files. Let's connect it to an existing library. This is going to be F9 Finance Coffee Shop. We'll create that. All right, it is all connected to our F9 Finance Coffee Shop SharePoint. We'll add this and configure it. This tool will now be available to all runs of the agent. All right, so it's already set up to create file. Now we can put in a description. I've got one over here for us. And this description is what's going to be available to the agent so it knows when to call the tool. So when someone runs the build variance pack for location a month, assemble a short pack, revenue, 3 biggest expenses, 3-sentence written explanation of the drivers, save the pack as a Word file in SharePoint and confirm the link. So we'll go here, we'll go to our site address. We're going to go right to our F9 Finance Coffee Shop. And then we're going to start with our folder path. Our shared path, will put it in shared documents. And then for some of these like file name and file content, we're going to let AI dynamically fill that. This isn't a traditional workflow where we need to have everything defined perfectly. AI can help us along the way. So we'll go ahead and save that. Now with that saved, if we come back to our overview, we'll scroll down. You see we've still got our knowledge here. Now we've got the tool down here that this can create a file for us. So that's how the tools work. And now we can come back to our test and let's go ahead. We'll start a new chat. So from our test, let's go ahead and start a new chat, clear out everything there before. Unlike when you're working in Copilot, where it's going to save the context to memory, when I start a new chat, it wipes everything so you can test the performance cleanly. Now we're going to put in the trigger word. So this is going to be our trigger. I'm going to ask it to build the variance pack for Astoria, July 2025. We'll go ahead and send that away. And what we're looking for is that file to be created and added to SharePoint. And we'll be able to see the tool working, and then we'll be able to go to SharePoint and check the file that it built for us. So right now it's gathering all of its data. It's getting its knowledge. It's pulling this together. Now this we've seen before. In our first step, we saw it do the analysis, we saw it work with the data, but now what we're looking for is for it to create that file and publish it. I'm using SharePoint to stay in the Microsoft ecosystem, but there are a ton of different sources you can send this to, Google Drive, all kinds of places. If you use it, it's almost certainly going to be available in connections. So now to create the file, it's asking for authentication. Microsoft is really big and set up on the enterprise security. All of this is working within the F9 Finance Coffee Shop's Microsoft environment, so it's making sure that it has its permission to work across the different tools. We'll go ahead and allow that, and we'll let it generate our document. We come over to SharePoint in the F9 Finance Coffee Shop. Here's the executive variance summary for Astoria. Let's go ahead and pop this in. And there we go. Executive variance summary, Astoria. We have our takeaways, our performance, unfavorable expense variances, management commentary, and FP&A validation. How cool is that? That's the jump from answering to doing. One thing left, set it to run on its own. For step 5, we're going to open the trigger section and add a scheduled trigger, say every weekday morning. Then we'll add an approval step so nothing gets written without our click. That approval step is what makes it safe to leave running near the money. Now let's get this thing to run without us. So we'll come down here to triggers, and this is where it really becomes an automation tool. I'm going to come into the triggers and I'm going to set a recurring schedule for this to run every morning on the weekdays at 7 a.m. So we'll set this off at 7 a.m. every day, where you're going to use the content from the body. We'll go ahead and create the trigger. This is creating the flow that will automatically call the agent. So here's our scheduling trigger. You'll see it took us over to Power Automate, which is what's running this. The great thing is we have Copilot right here, so we can add this to help us out. So let's go ahead and copy this prompt over. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to ask this every day at 7 a.m. to scan the latest bank transactions and balances, flag anything unusual, any duplicate payments, anything that we should be worried about. For each flag, draft a short alert and save it as a note in SharePoint. We're going to request approval before saving anything. We'll go ahead and send this. Now this is Copilot within Power Automate, so it's going to work right on our flow over here to do the updates. Okay, so it is set to trigger every weekday, and now it's going to pass the prompt that we gave it. So if I come over here, it's now said send a detail prompt to Copilot to scan bank transactions and balances, flag unusual activity, draft alerts, request approval. So now this prompt is going to pass into our agent right here. It's going to give us all of our information back and then load it right into SharePoint. That is true automation, and how cool is that? Now it works on a schedule and you still have the final say. So that's the whole build, 5 steps. Create the agent, add your files as knowledge, write the instructions, add a SharePoint action, set a trigger with approval. If you do one thing this week, build one on a month you've already closed, so nothing's live while you learn it. And if these builds are useful, a subscribe keeps them coming. If you want to see this agent turned loose, running on a schedule to catch problems overnight, well, that full demo is going to be right up here. I'll catch you over there. Until then, this is Mike signing off from F9 Finance. Cheers.